I want to talk about a natural antidepressant that I've been using for about a year and a half now. The problem is that I can only use it intermittently. I have not found a way to take this antidepressant 3 times a day for the rest of my life continuously. I'm talking about fasting, obviously. It's a big challenge that I can't take it continuously because I often need it right when I stop taking it, which causes a little bit of strife sometimes. So let me talk about a few times where I've used it to great benefit. You see, loud, crowded environments are always tricky for me. Going to the Chaz protest last year, that's not something I could have done easily in the past. But I fasted, the first time I went there, I fasted 20-some hours. And I went there and I had a very lightweight attitude. There were obviously things I saw there that I didn't like. There were obviously people whose views I disagreed with, but I had a very lightweight attitude to it. I went there a second time. I think the second time I only fasted 16 hours because I kind of wanted to practice winding down and being able to adjust to it. I was competing in the Computer Olympiad back in November, and I fasted before I went to the competition, and there was one game where I didn't do so well. I had a few minor errors in my code, but it was good. It made me find problems, and I've been able to resolve them in the last couple of months. But I was very graceful about it, and I was fasting. Later that day when I went out to eat, as soon as I was full again, oh my God, I got very heavy-hearted about all the problems I had during the competition. That's the problem I have. See, nowadays, before I go to any big event, right, meeting with my boss, job interview, I fast beforehand. The problem is things that come up without warning, and I didn't get a chance to fast before, right? So I live with roommates, I live with a landlord. Sometimes we get into a disagreement, and I didn't get a chance to fast before disagreeing, right? Because obviously I don't plan for conflict, right? That's where I run into trouble. Now, a couple days ago, I saw on my YouTube feed that there was going to be another short squeeze attempt at silver. I wasn't fasting when I read that news, and I became very angry because I thought about I still want some time to load up on silver before this whole game unwinds, right? I got very upset about that. And then I went to sleep, and the next day I started fasting again. And after I got 14, 16 hours under my belt, I started to realize that, not everybody can be in my position. See, I'm fasting. That's why noises like that don't seem to bother me so much. But after I got my fast down, I started to realize that not everybody is in the same boat that I am. There are people who really need this money now. Maybe they have issues on hand. Obviously, we're still in a pandemic, right? There are people who are behind in their bills. You got people who have family members with COVID. You have people with medical problems. You have people going through foreclosure or whatnot, right? And maybe I have enough precious metals as it is. Maybe it's not a bad idea to share some of the wealth, right? As soon as I started fasting, I got a little bit of a positive attitude toward it. So you can see that it's day and night, right? Whether I'm fasted or not. The problem is that oftentimes the biggest conflicts happen without warning, and I don't get to fast ahead of time, right? The other problem is sometimes the fasting isn't very social, right? So I talked about job interviews. Unfortunately, some of the big ones, they take you to a meal, right? I'll have to think about how to handle those things. Anyway, it's a very natural antidepressant, not too many side effects, but the unfortunate part is that I have not found a way to continuously take it.